morning and welcome back. Guess what I've got today? That was so out of tune. Drum roll. I have got the 250,000 250,000 waiting list foundation by The Ordinary. I've got the coverage foundation in the color 3N. Right, I'm so pleased. There we go. I have got this. It actually came on Monday the 22nd, and normally what happens when I get a foundation, I normally do the video review of it the next day. Unfortunately, as everybody should know by now, on Tuesday the 22nd we all woke up to the news about what happened in Manchester. Obviously I was in no mood to be doing a foundation review, and I wasn't in a mood either yesterday to do it, so I'm not going to say anything more about it. So got my foundation today, and I also got the Ordinary primer as well. I did get this a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't want to do this until I received the primer, because I wanted to try the two out together. Unfortunately, I'm doing it today, but the temperature today in Britain, it's about 25 degrees centigrade. I'm a very extremely oily girl, okay, and this is the kind of day when I want my best performing primers, I want my best performing foundation. But just for you, I'm going to try these products out today. So if I look like a piece of oily fried chicken by midday today, it's all your fault. But it doesn't matter, I'm going to do this anyway. As you can probably see, I've already started putting the primer on this side of my face. So let me just continue doing that. So this is this one. It's very creamy, this adherence primer. So I'll just continue just to apply this. And I'm actually thinking if I should do another foundation, another primer on the other half of my face. Actually, you know what, I think I will. I'm going to do the primer I would use on a day like this, and this is my Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. I'm going to do it on this side of my face. It's a bit of an unfair comparison if you ask me, but it's just that I know this primer is the bomb. So I'm just going to do it on this side of my face. Basically, those of you who know me, the primers I use are Becca Ever Matte Primer, the Makeup Forever Mattifying Base Primer, #1, it's one in the black tube, and on special occasions I use this Hourglass Veil Primer. But it's a hot day, and it looks like it's going to be humid as well, which means we're going to have a thunderstorm at the end of the week. So I'm just going to, let's just compare the two primers and see how they do, okay, on my oily skin. I don't want to spend too much time reading about this foundation today. Wavy Kate, she's one of the first people who got hold of the foundation, of the serum and the coverage foundation, and she's done reviews on both of those products. But she's the complete opposite of me. She's got very fair skin, so I think she was in colour like 1.0 or something like that. It's one of the really lightest colours. So she's already done a review. I mean, it's a very popular review. Pop over and have a look and see what she says on her site, because she goes into a lot of detail about the performance and the details of the foundation. I don't really want to do that today because I'm looking at the website and there's a hell of a lot of information about the primer. Oh, I can't speak. There's a lot of information about the foundation. I will say a few things about it though. So in the UK, the foundation is £5.90. That's why it's so popular, and that's why there's a 250,000 waiting list for it. I actually waited a month for this. It took 4 weeks for it to arrive. I ordered this in April, and I could see people were, I ordered it a week after it launched, so I was a bit late on the uptake there. So it took 4 weeks to come, and it came on Monday. So doing the review today. So all of you who are waiting for it, it's coming. What they did do, they did send an email apology about a week and a half ago, just saying, look, they know I've got an order and I'm waiting for it, and they apologise for the delay. So they're moving to new sites, a bigger factory or whatever, and they're going to be making the product, because apparently it's handmade, it's specialist made, etc, etc. Anyway, so the foundation comes in 21 shades in each formula. And the shades go from 1N, 1.0N to 3.3N. I'm going to try and read through some of this because I don't really want to go into too much detail. But the foundation shades comes in, has letters at the end, Letters are N for neutral, S, P, and Y, oh, and G as well. So if I can just go through and see what these things are, let me read a little bit of it. So the coverage foundations are full coverage formulations available in a comprehensive shade range across 21 shades. These foundations contain higher pigment levels than our serum foundations, but still offer a smooth finish that avoids the heavy makeup look that can make skin appear more aged. The texture is that of a lightweight, non-oily cream. The pigments used in these formulations are treated for a rich, highly saturated effect. These pigments are suspended in our proprietary spreadability system and allow pigments to look natural on the skin, resist collecting within fine lines, and stay on for longer. The foundations offer a semi-matte finish and are compatible with most primers and are designed to work exceptionally well with the primers offering from The Ordinary. So that's the one I've got on this side here. Coverage foundations sold in the European Union offer an SPF of 15. This protection is achieved without the use of chemical sunscreens and only through physical protection from the titanium dioxide. Blah, 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 blah. Please note that the formations are and will be the same in all markets, but the packaging will claim SPF 15 only in the European Union. So it's in 21 shades, blah, blah, blah. Alright, here we go. The shades are divided into 3 categories, 1 for fair to lighter tones, 2 for medium tones, and 3 for darker tones. Each category is then classified further by a second digit from 0 to 3 to indicate depth within each category. Finally, a letter is added to the shade code to identify the undertone. P for pink, R for red indicates cool undertones for lighter and darker shades. Respectively, N indicates a neutral undertone for lighter and darker shades, respectively. N indicates a neutral tone, Y indicates a yellow undertone, and each shade code has a descriptive name as well. For example, 1.2P is light with pink undertone, while 3.0Y is medium dark with yellow undertones. For a complete shade guide, you can look further. 3 of the shades have an additional letter at the end. S indicates silver highlights and G indicates gold highlights. These shades are natural looking and exceptionally fine dispersions of metallic effect pigments for added highlight. The Ordinary will introduce individual enhancers and highlighters in the near future to customize all shades. Okay, and then there is another site you can go to get the full shade range. Okay, so the primers have settled in. I really just want to get in and do it. Right, I normally apply my foundations with a brush, but I've got a beauty blender and I've got my Morphe E31 brush. Should I do both or should I just do one? I think when I saw Wavy Katie doing it, I think she did it with a blender and I think she liked it. But traditionally I don't like using sponges, I like to use brushes. Should I do both? I'll do both. Okay, so blender on this side, brush on this side. And if it works like this is crap, I'll do the brush on all sides. Let's crack on and do this. I'm so looking forward to doing this, I really am. You know when you've been waiting a long time for something? Right, so it's got a pump, as you can see, and it's a lockable pump, so you can turn it around. It's 30 mils, plastic container, 1 fluid ounce. That's all there is to say about it, really. Let's just do this. So let's pump. So that's nearly a 1 full pump, but they said it's pigmented, so I don't really want to put too much on. That's the colour. You can see it's not too runny, but it's a consistency that will slope downwards. So let's do this side of my face. I have colour corrected and put concealer on already, in case you're wondering, because I do normally do that. Right. Okay, the colour looks like it's going to be good already, doesn't it? I'm so excited, in case you hadn't noticed. Right, let's do this. Okay, 1 pump. I'd say that's a medium, light to medium coverage. If we look at that side there and then look at that side there. Light to medium. Let me do another pump and see. The colour match is perfect. I didn't say that actually, but no problems about the colour at all. So 3.2N is what I've got on today, for those of you who like to know. I do like my neutral undertones. Yeah, I like the finish, it looks good. So, yeah, there you go. So that's 2 pumps on that side. And I'm just looking at the sponge. It has absorbed a bit, but that's normal. So the coverage, I would say, is medium coverage, but it does look good. It's a nice semi-matte finish. It looks good. Right, let's use this with the brush. So with the brush, I normally spray with a mattifying setting spray. I'm using the mattifying setting spray from Cover FX. So let's spray the brush. Do a pump. Nice apply. Okay, so that's using the brush on that side. So I did 2 pumps on that side, so to be fair I should do the same again on this side. Just do another spray. I should really let it dry, shouldn't I? Don't know. Oh, I'm going to apologise for the sound in the background. If you're wondering what that sound is, I've got my fan on because, as I said, it's really hot, and I'm in that age group where, let's just say, I sweat. Not quite. I think I'm what you call it. I think I'm perimenopausal at the moment. Apparently that's a thing. So I'm not quite menopausal, but I'm there. Not having my night flashes yet, but I do have my moments in the day when I'm just really hot and water just starts dripping down my face for no reason whatsoever. Okay, so that's how it looks. So this is the brush side and this is the blender side. Which side do you prefer? I actually think the brush side gives a fuller coverage compared to that, but I think it looks good both ways, so I'm not going to complain. It's definitely a semi-matte finish, so it looks good, yeah? Pleased. Alright, let me do a time. Okay, so the time is, hope you can see that. Right, the time is 9:20 in the morning. So my intention is to wear this for about, what, say 6 hours at least, 6-7 hours. Okay, so let me finish my makeup and I'll come back to you in a moment. Good evening and welcome back. I'm doing my final thoughts and review of the foundation that I was testing today, and that foundation was the much coveted The Ordinary Coverage Foundation. This bottle cost me £5.90. You heard that right, £5.90. I think in America it costs $6. That's if you can get hold of it, because at the moment it's got a 250,000, yes, 250,000 waiting list, and I had to wait a month to get this bottle, but I've got it and I'm trying it. Right, so for those of you who don't know, when I test foundations, I'm really testing it because I have got extremely oily skin. So I'm doing this for my fellow oily skin wearers of foundation and makeup. So I've been wearing this foundation since, I think it was about 9:15 when I finished applying it. And the time now is, it's 5:45. So I hope you can see that okay. It's 5:45 in the evening, so I've been wearing this for, I can't add, you know I can't add, 6-7 hours, 7.5 hours I've been wearing this foundation for. So I think I've given this a pretty good test. I'm hoping I'm not too close up in your face, but I really want you to see how this foundation has done on my face. So when I put the foundation on, I used 2 primers. I used the primer by The Ordinary, and it's called the High Adherence Silicone Primer, so it's this one. And I applied it on this side of my face. And the other primer I used was the very high-end primer by Hourglass, and it's called the Veil Mineral, or Mineral Veil. Okay, so this primer costs, I can't remember, it was about £20, £25 for this little quantity. It is 8.95 mils, 0.30, yes, 0.30 fluid ounces. So you don't get a lot for your £20-25 here. Whereas this primer, I can't remember, it was something like £4 maybe. Yeah, you heard me, £4. Okay, and you get how much in this one? 1 fluid ounce, 30 mils of this primer. So I'm going to be comparing the two, and again just seeing how the foundation has performed on me. So 7.5 hours later, let's see how we've done. When I'm testing my foundations, I'm testing for 3 areas. So I'm testing for the performance to see if the foundation has melted, faded or separated on my face. I'm also looking to see how it's managed to absorb my oils. So has it controlled my oils at all? And the third thing I'm looking for is to see if the foundation transfers. Okay, so let's have a look at the performance. The oil really started to break through about 5 hours in wearing the foundation. So that's not bad really. It was about 4.5 hours, 5 hours in. So that's not bad for any foundation. So it's already going to be getting a thumbs up from me at this stage, because you know, to do that for that price, come on, really. So this is the oil and this is the performance. So let's get my mirror out. So has the foundation faded at all? So close up, the coverage initially was medium to full. So let's have a look at the oil here. So forget the oil on my face. The initial coverage was medium to full. It hasn't really faded up on my forehead, because that's an area where I normally get fading. On the side of my face, this is the ordinary primer side of my face. Hasn't faded or separated at all here. I think there's a few little darker patches like there and maybe just along there, but nothing major, nothing that I would worry about. You can still see the blush and a little bit of the contour that's on my face there. So that's the ordinary primer side of my face. On this side of my face, which is the Hourglass Veil side, definitely less oil. I mean, it's still oily, but a lot less oil than this side of my face. Hasn't faded as much either. Actually, there's no fading on this side at all. So performance on this side is better, and I think that is just down to the primer. Looking at where I was wearing my sunglasses, so on my nose you can see a little bit of collection of the oil of the foundation on my nose, under the nose pads there. On that side, yeah, same thing, it's faded completely, so my mole can be seen here. So it's faded completely on that side. Where the frames rest on my upper cheeks, not too bad on the Hourglass side. A little bit more oily on this side of my face here. So, but overall, it's not bad at all. When I do my blotting, we'll have a proper look again. But at the moment, I am thinking, performance-wise, I'm actually thinking about 9.5 at the moment. But we'll see in a minute. Let's do the oil and the transfer. So this is where I use my blotting sheets. So the worst foundation I've ever used about 5 of these sheets to absorb the oils. It was just terrible. And the best foundations, they use 2.5 sheets of these blotting sheets. So let's do this, shall we? And let's see how we do. So when I do this, I'm looking at to see how much oil is on the sheet, and I'm also looking to see how much of the foundation transfers on the sheet as well. So let's do this. Okay. Right, so that's one. Two, you can see a little bit of the foundation transfer in there. Yeah, it's a lot less on the Hourglass side, a lot less. Three. And this one is just really just to mop up. So yeah, we've got a good 3.5 there. So 3.5 sheets. So this is always the gross bit of the whole thing. So it's about 3.5 sheets there worth of blotting sheets. Apologies for the grossness for those of you who've never seen that before. Sorry. So yes, so that's used 3.5 sheets of blotting sheets, but we can now see, have a really good look and see what my face looks like now. Obviously the hourglass side of my face performed much better when it came to oil absorption, so that just shows that if you wear a good primer you'll get a better performance. But overall, looking at the performance, I've still got foundation on my face. So I said a little bit of fading up here, but nothing significant, and on the sides of my face here, nothing major at all. And again, where my sunglasses were resting, so my nose pads, a little bit of fading there. Maybe a little bit of fading on my chin, but not much. So I'm thinking at the moment, school-wise, I'm thinking performance, I'm giving this a 9.5. Oil absorption, I'm going to give this an 8 because I actually think it was pretty good for what, 8 hours? Did I say 8 hours? Nearly 8 hours, 7.5, 8 hours of wear. I think that is pretty good, and it's been a really warm day today. It was about 27 degrees, really warm day. So yeah, I'm definitely giving this an 8.5 for oil control because that's performed really, really well. And for transfer, obviously it did transfer, but again, not major, but it has transferred. So I'm going to give this 6, 7. I'll go 7 because it's not as bad as it could be because not that much oil came out. So overall, forgotten what I've said. So I've said 9.5, I've said 8.5, so what are we on there? 17, 18 plus the 7, so that's 25 out of 30. That's got to be one of the highest scoring foundations I've worn, and that was £6. Well, it's £5.90. Let's be accurate here. It's £5.90, and it scored 25 out of 30. So you know what I'm going to say about this foundation. If you haven't ordered it yet, put your order in. Yes, you're going to have to wait, but it's worth it. And I would say as well, have a look at their website. Have a good look and see what tone you're going to match into, because you can't go too far wrong. Get your colour and buy 2 or 3. If you're going to buy 1, buy 3, because at that price, £5.90, $6, it's a no-brainer. Buy the foundation. That's all I can say. Fantastic foundation. I love it. Again, this is going to be one of those foundations I can wear every day, no problems at all. So I think so far, I'm thinking with my summer foundations, I'm definitely thinking this, and I'm thinking the Bare Minerals Original Mineral Foundation. So at the moment, those are the 2 foundations I'm thinking about wearing for the summer. So I would say, brilliant. Thank you very much to The Ordinary for coming out with this. What more is there to say? Okay, I hope you've enjoyed that. And again, thank you very much for joining me and watching this video. If you've got any views or any comments about this foundation, or if you've tried it, please let me know in the comments below. I bought the foundation in the UK from Victoria Health. That's an online company. They do a lot of the SEM is the Canadian company. It's the parent company that owns the Ordinary, and they do a lot of skincare products. They do cheap skincare products in the Ordinary range, and I believe they also do some very high-end skincare products. But we're looking at the lower end here in this video. So in the UK you can buy it from Victoria Health. I do not know, sorry, I just don't know where you can buy it from in the US, but obviously tap into your Google or your web search and it will come up with the companies to buy it from. But just be warned, there is a massive waiting list for this foundation. So again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please don't forget to give me a like, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, and if you press the little bell next to the subscribe button, it will let you know when I've uploaded a new video. Okay, take care, and I will see you soon. Bye.